All right, we are recording a Sisterhood team call, May 20th. So excited for tonight. I want to kick it off with a little bit of recognition first. So anybody that has any recognition, you can take yourself off mute.
I do. I'm so excited. I want to shout out my coach, Hannah, who just started in the coach mentorship. She's been coaching for 2 weeks. She's already got 3 coaches signed up, and she's Emerald, baby.
I have some too. I want to officially shout out Emily Robertson. She has sold her first and second challenge pack. So excited for you, Emily. Keep it going. SC6 is locked in the bag this month. I also want to shout out April Todd, who today signed up her first ever working coach, Amanda. So more to come on Amanda's introduction, but Fire and Freedom is growing.
I have one massive congrats to Julie Brew. You have the biggest heart in the world, girl, and I am so pumped for you. She is officially Emerald, and congrats.
I have one. I would like to welcome Kat to my team. I'm really excited, and she's already sold 1 challenge pack, being in this business for 2 days. So welcome, Kat.
I have one. I just want to give a shout out to Sarah Matthew. She's in her 2nd month of coaching, hit Success Club month 1, has hit it again already, and will officially be Emerald tomorrow. So way to go, Sarah.
I have some. So I want to shout out Kayla Kenny, who hits Emerald tomorrow and has her first working coach. Also, Alicia Ferris, who hits Emerald tomorrow and has 2 SC points on the board. And then, of course, my husband, who will be Emerald tomorrow as well.
Ian is working so hard. I'm so impressed. I have a massive shout out for Erica Haskins, who's gone diamond. I'm so proud of you, Erica. I feel like it's old news now because everybody knows, because we have our calls on Wednesdays and things happen on Thursdays. So old news, but still the most exciting news ever. And I know you're holding back your smile, and I'm so happy for you because you've worked so hard for this, and it's legit about showing up every day, and you do it. So proud of you. I know it's not official, but I'm going to do it anyways. A massive shout out to Jackie Adams, who legit pulled out of the trenches the last 2 months and went from nothing to full force working this business, and has 4 coaches, including her husband, and is going diamond tomorrow. I'm so proud of you. You freaking are fire. Way to go.
I want to shout out Brianne Stoner. Again, I shouted her out on Monday on the Crush It call, but she hit Success Starter, and I'm so freaking excited for her. She is just gunning for this and has massive, so congrats, Brianne. And I want to do a shout out for Elisa too. She has been absolutely crushing it recently. She lost her diamond for a little bit, which happens to so many of us, but she got it back, and she's just been doing an incredible job adding so many coaches and being such a leader for them. So I just wanted to give her some mad props for that. Good job, ladies.
All right. I want to shout out Ashley Scheidbach for hitting Success Starter. I am so proud of you. I also want to shout out Erin for 3-star official, which is absolutely incredible. And with Erica and Jackie, you are going into 5-star qualification tomorrow. And I was looking at your team today. You have so many other coaches that are so close. So I am just so proud and excited to watch you fly over the next couple months. Guys, I wanted to, before I introduce Kim in her Sisterhood hoodie, I wanted to just let you guys know I had to hop off the Crush It call on Monday. So I actually just watched it live last night. But it really reminded me of something that we are constantly learning in this business. I watched the call, and then today I made a list of what I wanted to implement first, because I feel like I've been around the block at this point. We can listen to as many team calls as, like, until you're dead and you're red in the face, whatever that expression is. But if you don't implement them, if you don't take one thing from each call and implement it, you're not actually moving forward. Sometimes I can re-listen to the same trainings on Beachbody Champions and still have so many takeaways because I didn't implement it the first time. So I know what Kim is going to do for us tonight, because I've had the absolute honor of being by her side for the past 2 years. Kim made this business relatable to me. I had seen so many Beachbody coaches doing this before I saw Kim do it, and I never thought that it was something I was interested in until I saw the incredible grace and just realness that she did, that she like ran her business with. She has a beautiful way of pouring belief into people and really inspiring you to live your best life. Kim is in 15-star qualification, which is the highest rank in Beachbody. She's 2 weeks into it. And guys, in January, she was a 1-star diamond. So if that doesn't give you some inspiration to know that you can absolutely do this, I don't know what will. So without further ado, Kim Fitzpatrick, I am honored that you are here speaking to us, and I will shut up and let you talk.
Guys, first of all, there are 65 women on this freaking team call. Like, what is happening right now? I'm so freaking proud of you guys. You know, I got nervous for tonight's team call, and I'm excited about that. And here's why. I believe that you have to stay nervous, because when you stay nervous, you're attached to your belief.
Slam my head into my wall.
Mm-hmm.
They won't call the cops right now.
You're so hold on. What was I just saying? I get all thrown off. Sorry, guys. Let me start that again. Okay. I was nervous tonight. I was seriously nervous for tonight, and there's a couple of reasons why. First of all, I believe, and I heard this, and I don't know who I heard this from, but when you go to speak, or when you go to get on a call with a prospect, or when you go and you get to make a difference, you should feel nervous. Because when you feel nervous, it means you care. And when you care, that means you're going to move mountains. But you have to get a little bit uncomfortable with being super vulnerable. And if you guys can start to understand that power, that vulnerability is your power, you're going to be able to flip a switch. So tonight, I want to talk to you about belief. I want to talk to you about stopping yourself. I want to talk to you about sabotage. I want to talk to you about a declaration of your power for where you want to go in this business, but not just in this business. Where do you want to go in this life? This business is an incredible opportunity for you, but this life is what matters. The people you have in this life is what matters. How you show up behind the scenes of social media is what matters. The action you choose to do when no one's looking is what matters. You can check all the boxes on your business activity tracker, and you can lie through those, and you won't be able to move your business forward in faith and belief and competency, because you're actually fooling yourself. What I would rather you do, and I know the leaders on this team would rather you do, is have unchecked boxes. The problem with unchecked boxes, guys, is that it breeds unbelief. Unchecked boxes become unchecked fear that filters into your psyche. And when you're showing up and you're not showing up with your full self, it gets super, super distracting. So can I share my screen? I think so, yeah. Okay. This is not on a fancy PowerPoint, but this is the best we got today. Okay, I wanted to share a couple things first, some key points I want to talk about. So the first thing I want to talk about is stop surrounding yourself with the wrong people. How many of you, if you guys can drop it in the chat, want to build a team that have more than 50 leaders on it? How many of you want to build a team that has more than 75, 100? What does it look like for you when you think about the women and some men, dudes, absolutely, that you're going to walk with in this business? I want to ask you whether or not you know what they look like. I want to ask you whether you know the characteristics they have. I want to ask you whether or not you have mapped out what leadership qualities mean to you and who you're looking for on your team. I want to ask you if you have taken a moment to ask whether you're surrounded by cheerleaders or you're surrounded by the doubt killers, or the doubt bringers. I want to ask you who you're surrounding yourself with and who's on your team. And that gets really exciting. And there's a switch for you, because it's super easy to stay small. It's super easy, you know, and it comes a time, guys, there's going to be this time, and I love this book. If you haven't read it yet, I'm going to reference some points from this. This is called The Motivation Manifesto. It's 9 declarations to claim your personal power by Brendan Bouchard. And I'm going to reference a little bit of it right in the beginning of this call. There comes a time in the lives of those destined for greatness when we must stand before the mirror of meaning and ask, why, being endowed with the courageous heart of a lion, do we live as mice? And I love that. I love that. And there's a reason why I love that. Because who you surround yourself with in this business is going to move you forward so much. And when you surround yourself with the right people who will coach and mentor you and inspire you and challenge you to be your best, you're going to be on your A game. But if you're surrounding yourself, and you guys are blessed because you're on the Sisterhood, and you have this group of women that are fire, but I want to ask you, how much are you leaning into them, and how much are you showing up as well as the leader on this team? When you surround yourself with people that are actually more advanced than where you are, you will get excited. You will work that little edge harder, not for comparison, but because if you want to walk with the giants, you have to be prepared to do the work that other people are already doing. Because what happens, guys, is if you feel like you're jealous, you're frustrated, you're not there yet, you're behind the 8 ball, that's all going to stop you. All that doubt, all that disbelief, guys, is going to ruin you. I love what Angie Bellemar said on the team call. She's like, guys, blind yourself. Stay in your lane. No one is more you than you. And that is exactly one of the things I want to kind of end with on this one. Don't be the wrong person for yourself. Do not be the wrong person for yourself. Because how many of you will allow the voices or other people's dirty feet to walk through your beautiful mind? And then in fact, you're sitting there walking through your own mind with your dirty feet. So your belief starts with you first. When you surround yourself with the wrong people, that's because you're in the wrong mindset. And I want you to remember that. And here's the best part. You can change it like this. You can shift like this. You can shift your state. I love Rachel Hollis. She does this clap thing. And it's like, same you, new mood. And she does it with this little like bounce. It makes me laugh every time. So it's funny, but it's like, you got to figure out what it is for you, right? Because when you start to realize that the belief comes within yourself, you guys are going to be completely unstoppable. You guys are going to be completely unstoppable. So I want to talk about that first. Don't be the wrong person for yourself. First and foremost. I remember, guys, when I was on the floor, it was 2017, and I had just told Arnaud Nakaha, my corporate representative, that I was not going for elite. It was the one time like I was an elite team, and then it was the year I had a year lull where we didn't hit elite because I wasn't prepared. And I want to talk about that because rank doesn't mean everything in this business at all. I'm not sharing that word elite to talk about a rank. I'm talking about the behaviors that I want to hold myself into the accordance of. Okay. So what I mean by that is I didn't do the work required when I needed to that started in January of 2017. I expected that in October, we would just let's go. Woo-hoo, we're going to do it again. No, that's not how this works. This works with daily consistency. This works with daily showing up with each other. This works with doing your business activity tracker. This works with serious personal development. And it kind of ties me into the stop the insanity. Here's the thing with BELEIF. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over and expecting different results. So if you keep saying to yourself, it's not working, I can't do this, I'm not hitting, I don't have a market, there's no one that, listen to your dialogue. I remember when I had to call or no and I said, I can't do this, the very next day, I made a decision that I was going to fight for that business, my business. And I decided I needed to rebuild. And I got really clear on the women I want to walk with. And if I'm honest with you guys, when Courtney reached out to me and she's like, I'm going to coach, I set up my own Instagram page and she had her first picture there. I really started to cry because I wasn't sure whether or not I was capable of developing leaders. I wasn't sure whether or not I was even meant for this. I doubted myself every day. And then Courtney came along. And I didn't, again, I'm not a pusher. I don't push. I think it's almost to a fault. I didn't have higher expectations. And there's a point I want to tell you there. There's nothing wrong with having expectations of a team that you get to do cool things with together. And I didn't realize that there was someone that had my back as much as I had hers. And that is what this business is about. This business is about someone that says, I see what your goal is, I believe in it, and I want to do it with you. Right? Then we were unstoppable, right? Because my momentum really started, guys, when I started to realize that it was all about we and that it was okay to have bigger goals. And then I stopped the insanity of these tiny SC10. And I don't mean that disrespectfully. I don't mean that disrespectfully at all to anyone that's super comfortable with that. But my goal every month is SC100. Every month. And if that means I hit SC50, awesome. Yay, that's great. But my goal, my benchmark is up here. And the reason why my benchmark is up here is because I'm really, really clear on my vision. And I look at this every day. And I want to show you something. Because I still have unbelief. This is what I made in, can you guys see this one? This piece right there? Can you see that? Hold on. With the scribbles in it? Okay. This is a picture of our team. And this is help 20 women start to earn six-figure incomes. And I erased start to. Because there already were women building six-figure incomes on our team. But I played small on my vision board. And I left the scratched out figure so I knew every day that I was going to stop the insanity of playing small over and over and over and over again. Because if you do not pivot and assess your life and assess what the hell's getting in your own way, you will never, ever, ever go forward. Guys, I want to share with you something like the worst thing that could ever happen that you can't envision happened in my house. You can't envision that. I don't ever want anyone to have that happen for them, ever. But what I knew when that happened was that two things could happen. One, I was going to be a single mama running my own business and trying to determine a new life. Or number two, everything was going to be okay. There was no middle. There was no middle for me. And what I realized that after that happened, I could go down two routes. And he was good and safe and awesome. I knew that I could go down two routes. I'm a professional self-sabotager. Professional. Yes. For anyone that doesn't know our story, on October 27th, Jamie had a cardiac arrest. And I was sitting right here, leading a Zoom call that ran late. And I was planning my life. I was planning our Rise Out planner. and Jamie was dead on the floor. And I heard this little like voice from Tess, and I had to like, I got so scared until I ran up. And that's when I started to realize that all of this, everything, guys, you think in your life is important right now, all the little, everything you're stressed about in this business potentially, or in your life, or yes, absolutely in this time of uncertainty, and this, it's very hard, and there's a lot of things that are happening for a lot of people, absolutely. But the one thing that I knew when my entire world got tipped upside down, like it is for thousands and millions of people right now, is that you have two choices. You can lead through crisis, or you can sabotage through crisis. That's it. There's only two options. And that comes from a deep-rooted belief that you're worth this. That comes from a deep-rooted belief that understanding on the days that you're super tired and you at least connect with 5 women, that if that's good enough for you, that's good enough for you, and that's phenomenal. It comes from a point in your life that you understanding, if you say that you're going to do something, if you say that you're going to be something, if you say you're going to show up, you better show up. You better show up. You better show up for yourself. You better show up for your kids. You better show up for the business that you want. And you need to have a why that is so much bigger than you even understand. One of the things in how I stop my self-sabotage, and one of the things that was really important to me in my business when I continuously audit my business, and I've done this for as long as I've been a coach that's actively working. You have to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats to you. So this one says to your health and wellness journey, but it's really for your business. I want to apply it to tonight. So you have to identify the people that are getting in your way. Who are the gremlins? Who are the naysayers? Is it your family? Who do you have to block? I have blocked my entire family. Guys, I read this white quote today that it's like, I laughed so hard. It was like your parents before COVID, you tell them you have an online business, and then your parents after COVID, they're like, oh my God, tell me about your online business, because now it's the hottest thing of life, right? So who are the people that are contributing to your sabotage? Mine were the 5 closest to me, right? So we have to kind of figure that out, and that's okay. That just means we got to get creative, right? That doesn't mean that it's going to ever go away. It just means that we have to love on them more than they're ready to love on us. And that's a way to break the cycle of self-sabotage. That's the way to actually increase your belief, right? That's the way. And I'm using Rachel Hollis for some reason. I'm not sure why. It's sticking out in my mind, but her mother-in-law actually dislikes her strongly. And for a long time, she fought against that until finally she just started to tell her how much she loved her when she'd insult her to her face. They're like, oh, that's so funny. Thank you for that. And she just moved on. Because if you don't allow, whether it be negativity, whether it be a no, whether it be someone saying, I'm not ready right now, somebody saying, I'm going to join another coach, someone saying, you know, what, right? Insert all the things that everyone's been experiencing. If you don't understand that you're putting self-sabotage in, then you're not going to be able to avoid that. And you're going to kind of stay stuck there. So I want to talk about, I'm going to send you guys this, but how many of you have done this in like your professional life? A SWOT analysis. It literally applies to this business where you literally you need to have a box that talks about your strengths, talks about your weaknesses, talks about your opportunities, and talks about your threats. And when you can start to understand the people, your process, so some of the weaknesses, guys, might be, I'm not completing my bat every day. Some of the weaknesses might, or maybe that's a strength. But guys, if that's a strength of yours and you are not helping more than 3 people a month, I want you to reach out to your upline and say, can you help me dissect this? Okay? The opportunity there is to actually be sharing the conversations you're having because there's something wrong. Instead of thinking that you're bad, you're failing, I would love for you to think about this as data. I would love my good friend, Dr. Sarah Sarkis, she's a psychologist. She talks about the notion that everything is data. And when you think about everything being data, you can't fail. You're just like a ninja researcher. And that feels amazing to think about that rather than, oh, I screwed that one up again. It's like, nope, I just went to research work and that was amazing. So that is literally what I do every day. When I go to bed at night, guys, I think about my strengths. I think about my weaknesses. I think about my opportunities and I think about my threats. And what I do at the end of each night is I ask myself these 3 questions. Could you have done a fingernail more? The second thing I ask is, would you join your team? Would I have joined my team today with how I showed up? Would I have joined my team today because people would know that I have a solution for them and a business opportunity or a wellness solution, either one, right? Whether it be whatever you're promoting for. So those are the things and the third thing I ask is, did I leave people better than when I found them? Because that's what this business is about. This business is about relationships. This business is about heart and mind and connections. And the problem with doubt, the problem with fear, the problem with focusing on the bullshit and the threats and the comparison and the jealousy and the bitterness is you kill your joy. And all the things you've been working towards, all the belief you have stored up, all the things that you write on your vision board, all these things, they will not come true because the universe is listening. The universe is listening to what you're saying. So what is your inner voice? And where do you need to work? And I want you to think about that inner voice when you write this down. Are your threats yourself? Are your opportunities yourself to get out of your own way? Right? And that's exciting, guys. That should not at all disempower you. That should be like, shit, I know where to go now. Like, honestly, guys, I have rebuilt my team 4 times. 4 times. Last year, we were in elite qualification. Again, rank does not matter, but we were working together as a team. And we dropped 6 times. 6 before we achieved that goal together. And I had to, one day, I had to own up to what I wasn't doing as a leader and how I wasn't showing up enough and how I know that I could do better. And as soon as that switch happened, 8 weeks later, we were elite because I had the fortitude and the awareness, and I took my ego the hell out of it, guys. Your ego is edging God out. Sorry, get your ego out of this. And when you start to actually write down what you want for real, it's going to manifest right in front of you. But the problem is, guys, when this business doesn't work for people, it's what I love to call, and it's not my word, but it's cognitive dissonance. You have cognitive dissonance. It's like when you pull your affirmation cards in the morning, it says, I am amazing. And you're like, you're such a stupid idiot in your head, right? Like, and maybe those aren't the words, but I don't know why that came so easily to me. But whatever those words are, like, you're not believing that affirmation card, right? It's like, I remember I had a coach that did her morning routine for her Insta story viewers. And I was like, dude, is that not for you? Like, are you not feeling like you can run over Mack trucks, like, after you do your morning routine? She's like, no, I do it for the gram. I'm like, oh my God. That coach is no longer working with us, right? Because she didn't believe in the power of personal development. She didn't believe in taking action and having a core value, right? Purpose-driven action. And that's super, I have these sticky notes all over my desk, but that's important. What you think about, you bring about. What you percolate on of why this isn't working for you, and that's where you live, you are never allowing yourself to actually move into the potential of what you can do. You have to reclaim your own agenda. And what is your agenda? Think about that, right? It could be, we can call it purpose and why. What's your agenda? Do you want to retire in 2 years or resign? Do you want to help pay off debts? Like, this can honestly help you do that. So I want you to remember that right now, and this is from a paragraph in the book, But he says something inside is sabotaging our natural drive toward freedom. It whines and roars for us to stop whenever we push beyond our comforts, whenever we choose to be authentic and loving in a scary world, whenever we seek to make a difference at the cost of our own position, whenever we desire something magnificent to obtain would require hardship and work. Our internal demons poison us with worry and fear whenever we might be vulnerable, stunting our growth and our vitality. Our destiny is decided by how well we know our demons of doubt and delay, and how well we defend against them, and how many battles we win against them each day of our lives. Without self-mastery, we are slaves to fear. With it, greatness and transcendence are ours. For this, we now declare we shall defeat our demons and our doubt and our fears, because that's what's getting in the way when you don't have those beliefs. So I'm really excited about, honestly, this topic. And I think that it's important to continue to chat about and think about and unpack, because belief is everything in this business. It's everything. It's everything. I'm actually in 17. We're going to be going into, well, we're not in 17 star, but 2 star in a second CBC. And then like we've gone from 1 star to 17 diamonds, because not because of me, because they decided to believe in themselves. And they decided that because I decided to cast out a bigger vision, they gave themselves permission to do that too. So every time you decide to actually commit to the things you say you want, you give permission for everyone else to do that too. And every single time you listen to the leaders on your team, and I mean that with like full love, guys, like you are so lucky and blessed. I don't even love that word. You are so fortunate that you're on this team. The sisterhood. For real. Like you have powerhouse leaders, and all of you are a part of that. And all of you are powerhouse leaders. And what you are all collectively creating is mind-blowing. Like you're the entire leaderboard, guys. Like, can we just talk about that for a second? Like, and I'm like, I'm the grandma. I have nothing to do with these amazing humans, but I'm going to do everything I can to support them. Right? Guys, the reason why I tell you this is not to blow smoke up your ass. Honestly, like what you guys are doing is what we did for Miguel. Right? We just started to take over Miguel's leaderboard, and he's like, who are all these people? Right? And that's kind of, and I don't mean that by leaderboard or rank, any of those things. What I mean by that is it's consistency and grit. It's showing up in impact. That's what it is. It's impact. It's purpose. It's passion. It's relentlessness. And that is the differentiator. That. And what I'll share, guys, is if you can continuously be in a place of humility and growth, it's phenomenal. Like I get, honestly, if it's not weekly that Courtney's like, Kim, your Teamsy, like, why are you not, you were not in your Teamsy today? And I'm not, because I'm wasting my ass time over here answering messages instead of like, guys, one of my weaknesses is I will get on my phone and I will like answer messages as fast as I can because I think that's what I need to be doing, when that's actually not good business sense. Stop, get your computer up, get your Teamsy up, and do your work. And then you go be mom. Then you go be your things. Don't half-ass it. And I remind myself, the reason why I tell you that is because it's so easy to be that people pleaser, to be that knee jerk, to be that, I saw that text, oh my God, I got it. Oh my gosh, I forgot to message that person. Bring some organization to your own psyche and your process to know that you are so worth this. And when you can figure out what time is best to do your email, figure that out. I want you to write that down if that's an opportunity for you. I want you to write down, if you're scared of Teamsy, to figure it out. Figure it out. Sorry, but enough. It's not hard. If I can do it, anyone can do it. And I'm just sitting there trying to chase Aaron's fireballs all day. It's fantastically motivating. But my point is, guys, is that you have to pace with people that inspire you.
And if you're not inspired and instead you're jealous, that's on you. Because it'll limit and it will stunt and it will destroy you and your business. I'll tell you that right now. If you're competing, if you're not tagging, if you're not surrounding your, like, trust me, why do you think I didn't hit elite that year? Because I had someone say, what's in it for me? What's in it for me? And I almost died on the Zoom. It was one of my friends. And she's like, what's in it for me? I was like, oh my gosh, I'm out. I can't do this. Thank God I didn't quit. Thank God I didn't quit. So I want to ask you, where do you need to pivot right now? What's coming up for you? What hurts right now? You don't have to tell anyone. Just observe it yourself, because that's your belief. And the longevity of this business is based on the belief that you have inside and how much you love yourself. Because when you don't love yourself enough, what you do will never be enough. And you'll be constantly chasing something else. Instead of just sitting down. There are days, guys, where I'm like, Kim, I give myself pep talks. I could cry right now. I could cry in the drop of a hat because I have had to learn how to be an inner parent to myself. I have walked through more things in my life than anyone should have to walk through. But it wasn't all that bad, because I know that there are millions of people that had it worse than me. Millions. So when you understand that you can stop being a victim of your story, and you start stopping about, you stop the story, that's the cycle in your head. If you're tired of it, so is everyone else. You have to start showing up as the leader you are. You have to start showing up as that person you want on your team until you believe it. I almost swore. Until you believe it. Until you believe that's who she is. Do you honestly think, I still can't, I haven't actually given myself permission to celebrate the top 10. I haven't, because I don't understand that yet. It's big. It's big. It's a responsibility. But guys, pressure is privilege. Responsibility is privilege. And I'm praying for this privilege. And I'm gonna serve it well. It's not about, oh, look at me, this shiny thing. Guys, that's hundreds and thousands of lives impacted. What the top 10 represents to me is that we're doing something bigger than ourselves. What it represents to me is that generationally, we are changing little girls' images of themselves. What top 10 means to me is that together we are banding and we are changing our legacies and our fortune and our futures of everything. What top 10 means is that we get to do more things together. It's so much bigger than a rank, but sometimes we get caught up on what we're not doing to get that rank. We take the joy out of the process. Your process is everyday belief and joy. And if you're not chasing joy right now, my friends, you can chase it. You can chase it right now. It's a decision. You haven't failed. It's not too late. You haven't done anything wrong. No one actually hears the voice between your head, just you. Thank God. Right? And you can figure this out together, because you have the very best team and you have the very best leaders. And I will tell you right now, this is the very best vehicle to make world change. I have been around the block. I have massive designation, and I have managed and led thousands of people in my career in 15 years. I've had the honor of very high scale jobs. And thank God for that, because it got me here. This job requires leadership. This job requires stewardship. This job requires mentorship. And this job requires you stepping into that ring and knowing that you're damn worthy of it. Whether you have titles behind your name does not mean shit. You create your own titles. But if you're not doing that, who the hell is going to come do that for you? And you know how those designations are created behind your name? Action. Take care of yourself. work out. That was the best. Take care of yourself, work out, be there, do your personal development, show up on the calls, set bigger goals than you have. I want all of you to triple your goals for this year. All of you, because they're not high enough. I'll tell you that right now. They're not high enough. So I need you to reevaluate. I need you to reevaluate. Okay? And if you can reevaluate with this deep-seated belief, guys, you're going to change the game. It's only June. Like, we got 6 months left. Like, we got this. Like, you guys can do anything you want as a team. I swear to you. Like, guys, if I literally just like, oh yeah, it's May. I don't even know what month it is. It's not, we're only 5 months in. Like, we have tons of time. But like, if I could just give you the energy in the pod of the women that I'm working with right now, you'll just believe anything's possible. You'll believe anything's possible because it's just like everyone cheering each other along and us all staying up late to crush goals together. And it's so much fun. I've never been more tired in my life and more happy ever. And that is something I'm proud of because we're doing it the right way. It's with love and authenticity and true having each other's back. That's it. Because if you do not have someone's back, your culture will not be unmatched. So you have to create an unmatched culture. An unmatched culture has core values. And your core values have to be unshakable because you're unshakable. And that's belief. For sure. So that's all I have.
Wow. You're incredible. Do you have a couple minutes if anybody wants to ask some questions?
Yeah.
Okay. So
I have like 12, 14, like 12 minutes.
Okay. I will ask one. If anybody else has some, you can either put it in the chat or unmute yourself. But I think one of the biggest things I see with new coaches sometimes is that they're almost afraid to start because then it's like, okay, if I, put my big scary goals out there, if I say that I'm doing this, then I have to like actually follow through. What do you say to the brand new coach that's not like gone all in, but that wants it?
Oh my gosh. Okay. I love this. So again, this is not my quote. It's someone else's, but it's really good. And it says that most people are actually so afraid of starting because they're so afraid of people seeing them starting at the first place. It doesn't matter. Like, actually, that's more brave to start at the very beginning. And in fact, it's something a lot of people can't do. And that's the start that makes most people stop. Everyone, guys, we all start somewhere. Every single one of us. So you can either stop yourself again for the next year and be on this call again, because it's like the best community and you won't want to leave it. Or, yeah, I love that. Exactly what Jen just said. Or you're going to suck and embrace it, right? Like that's Tony Horton's, like embrace the suck. It's not supposed to feel good. Do it anyway, right? And I think that's my best answer. It's like, if you, I do like this saying. It's like, imagine, and maybe this is something to write down. Imagine if you actually did the things you talk about. Imagine you actually did the things you say you're going to do. Where would you be? If you actually did do those things. Even if it means, guys, like there are some nights I post at 10:30, which is ridiculous. And why am I posting at 10:30? No one's even awake, but I don't care because I'm consistent and I will never miss a day. It doesn't matter to me. I will not falter on what I say I'm going to do. Bottom line, I'm okay with sucking and not getting a lot of likes on pictures when I post them at 10:30. You have to just be okay with it, even 5 years in.
I love that so much. Thanks so much for sharing that. Does anybody else have any other questions at all? I think my favorite thing that you said tonight was talking about self-sabotage, because I think every single one of us can relate. I think all of us hold ourselves back when it comes to something. And a lot of this in this business is about believing in yourself enough to just go for it. And like you saying, be brave enough to suck, because nobody is good at this at the beginning. Nobody's good at talking to the camera right away. Nobody takes the best pictures. Nobody has good captions. Nobody has the best invite right away. It truly is just learning by doing. And you only get better by just putting yourself out there. You have to be brave enough to suck. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us tonight, Kim. You are amazing, and we love you so much. And we are so grateful to have you in our life.
Likewise, guys. I'm so proud of you. I'm been proudly wearing my Sisterhood crop all day for you guys. All right.
Thank you, Kim.
Go get it.
Thank you so much.
Oh, just a side note, the invites in Crush Nation, I'm going to get on and do a free group training right now. So if no one has their own free community, you better get on this call with me or watch the recording. Okay? See you guys.
All right, guys, have an awesome night. We'll talk to you soon.